Welcome to my channel. Hi, my name is Vanya. Well, hi, my name is Vanya. Hi, my name is Vanya. Welcome to my channel. Hi, my name is Vanya. If you want to see me transform from a part-time bearded hobgoblin to a part-time bearded hobgoblin with makeup on, please stick around. It'll be... Yeah, I promise it'll be entertaining. It probably won't, but it'll be something.
I started by making a paper pattern of a bat wing skeleton and a bat wing membrane, and I then cut that out of EVA foam that I then trimmed down to a desired shape using some fabric scissors I had a grudge against. Next, I cut the bat wing membrane out of a warbler. I then took the two warbler pieces and sandwiched them around the EVA foam skeleton, and once everything was together and secure, I shaped the bat wings into a shape I desired by heating up the warbler slightly and shaping it until it cools down. I did this by running between my open window and the heat gun. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but I'm not smart enough to figure that out. So please let me know in the comments. Thank you. I then trimmed the excess warbler. Next, I took a paper mache mold of my head and wrapped some plastic wrap around it, which will keep it from being damaged, while I make a duct tape pattern for the headpiece. I created pattern segments, added some notches, and numbered them accordingly. I then cut the duct tape headpiece pattern, traced the individual pieces on some paper, and then cut said pieces out of EVA foam and assembled them again using some barge, all poipus some man. I then used a Dremel to shave down any rough edges on the bat wings and bevel the edges of the headpiece. Make sure to wear some protective gear if you plan on using the Dremel on pretty much anything, because like inhaling particles is bad for you or something. I don't know, kids, so don't do it. Or if you do plan on doing it, wear some like protection. Following the dremeling, I cut holes into the side of the helmet, which will house the base of the bat wings and provide a nice sturdy support. I anchored the bat wings into the side hole of the headpiece using a couple small strips of warbler, which I attached to the inside of the headpiece using barge glue and the factory adhesive that is activated on the shiny side of the warbler. I don't know if it's safe to heat up barge glue, you know, like, but I'm doing it. I'm sprouting a small arm out of my butt. It makes it hard to sit, but it's very, very, very sexy. I'll keep you updated. I then repeated those steps for the other wing. I then added some little stylized little nodules to what I've learned for some research is the bat's first digit, so I guess it's like a bat phone. Look at this one, learning stuff. Next, the headpiece was primed using the white acrylic paint. I regret not going over it in a red acrylic layer after the white acrylic priming layer, because in certain lights, the white base layer pops through the semi-loose weave of the sequin fabric, which isn't preferred. I attached the sequin fabric in strips using barge glue and a kind of like paper mache kind of technique. I kind of just freestyled it here, just kind of winged it a little bit, LOL pun intended. I then painted the inside of the helmet red, which I should have done to the outside, stupid. And then I added some stones, because I'm extra and, you know, it's a little dimension, you know, to the little nobules, the crown, the little face swirlies, and then, you know, that completes the helmet. That's it. It's done. Look at it go. It's so beautiful. Look at my freaky looking head. That's my head. And now time for the piece de resistance, the baddest here. I started with the large white eyeballs first. The eyeball is made of 2 circular pieces of fabric, one 3-inch in width and the one in 1.5 inches in width. And then I spent a whole fucking day on Adobe After Effects making this little graphic. And it looks fucking awful, but I did it, and I'm gonna fucking use it. You sure bet your bottom dollar, bitch. I then stuff each of the individual eyeballs and stitch the opening closed. I then proceed to the most enjoyable part of this torturous eyeball process, which is, painting. Relaxing painting. I achieved this by using acrylic paints and a paintbrush. Innovative. I know. Riveting. Look at me go. So I'm so fast. I'm actually this fast. This isn't me speeding anything up. I'm just really fucking good. The eyes really just look like cat buttholes until you get to the end. When you add the pupil and then the little anime style eye shinies, they're about to come. Just wait. They're about to come. Oh, there they are. Oh my god, look at that. They just pop. Look at them pop. I then made some smaller eyeballs using similar methods, except I only used a 3-inch round. I didn't need the 1.5-inch base for it. This went much faster, and I don't have footage of it because you don't deserve it, not because I forgot to film it. Okay. I then cut out the bodysuit out of some antibacterial wicking fabric because I sweat like it's my business. And then I felt it was of monumental importance to let everybody know that I use a can of refried beans as a weight. How unique am I? I then placed all of the eyeballs very strategically because so much thought went into this part. And then they were all sewn on using a prick stitch. This sewing portion went on for 10,000 years. It was really hard watching all of my loved ones around me age and die, but I persevered because I'm amazing and strong like that. The eyelid portion consisted of 2 pattern pieces. One of the eyelids gets a pleat, and the other one gets like folded and then folded again. It's not really a pleat. It's a double fold. It's not a pleat. The first method I'm showing here, pre-sewing the 2 eyelids together, stitching the folds and pleats in place, was not the method I started with. This is a really clever and, smart way of doing things, time-saving ways, just definitely not me going into anything. The method I started using was just like attaching everything and pinning everything into place using a million pins and then hand stitching everything in place once it's pinned in place. This was an awful waste of time, as pinning everything on the eyeball takes way longer than pre-sewing the eyelid, and then just stitching around the perimeter once it's pinned on the bodysuit. And there we are. A few thousand more years of hand sewing later, civilizations fell, gods came and died, and here I am, rising from the primordial ooze. Twisted spawn of Venus. I am mitochondrial even. All y'all chicken heads is my sons! Wow. Yeah. Look at that. And it's done. Wow. The bodysuit is kind of my baby. I thought I wanted it, but the birthing process was traumatizing, resulting in what I can only assume is postpartum depression. Oh, look at drag queen trivializing the female experience. How novel. We went through a lot together, experienced some shit. I can't look at this bodysuit without my left eye twitching, but I'm very proud of it. There are definitely things I could have done better, or even things I would definitely change now. I do plan on adding a couple more eyeballs in the near future, fill in a few gaps and cover the stains on my chest where a small stream of foundation and sweat poured out from my headpiece. But for now, I couldn't be bothered. One little bit no ma'am. After how tedious that bodysuit was, I didn't want to do anything fitted with the dress. I didn't have to use I can't look at me. I can't even right now even fathom using my brain for anything besides basic geometry when it comes to this dress. Squares are geometry, right? I don't know math. It's literally made out of rectangles that are gathered in strategic places. I have mixed feelings about the dress. I love the sleeves, and I might repurpose it some way in the future. But for right now, I feel like it just kind of makes me look like a blueberry on two sticks. This ain't it. This just ain't it. Oh, and yeah, I definitely consider the dress an accessory. The shoes here. The shoes are a red strappy pair I got from Amazon by the brand Pleaser. I used E6000 to glue the red sequin fabric on. It's a simple process. I didn't really use any strategic method, just kind of went at it like a madman. It's really hard to fuck this part. Next were the gloves. Simple pattern I made by tracing my hand. Not the best pattern, but I'm a lazy bee and that's how it's gonna be. I then added red nails in a cream finish that are bejeweled with 4 and 5 millimeter rhinestones and large 11 millimeter rhinestones on the knuckles, and a heat set strip of rhinestones that I somehow regret adding because when looking at them up close it looks very cheap, but they do add some nice dimension from afar. I made a neck ruff off camera. It's not here because you don't deserve to see it again. I thought I made that clear. It's not because I forgot. And now we're on to the makeup. I started by covering my eyebrows using Prozaid. I apply a single layer using a Q-tip, wiping away any excess around the edges. I only used one layer of it as I'll be covering this area with some rhinestones later, and multiple layers of Prozaid aren't necessary. I then apply a color corrector to my eyebrows, and then I went in with a Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer to prime my face. Crazy, I know. I then went in with the same color corrector on my beard and mustache area. I then set it with some translucent powder, the same one I used to set the Prozaid, which is Ben 9's translucent powder. I then went in with the Kat Von D Locket Foundation in Light 45 Neutral. I used the Kat Von D Shade and Light Face Contour Palette to contour my cheeks and my nose. I then go in with the Kat Von D Locket Concealer and Light 1 on the bridge of my nose, under my eyes, as well as a few other high points of my face, like my chin and the middle of my forehead between my eyebrows. I set the cream contour and highlight concealer using the Kat Von D Locket in powder, in translucent powder, and the Locket finishing powder, indeed. Oh my god. I'm leaving that in. I then add some blush with the Lime Crime Software blush in Hot Spot. Earlier I had made a stencil for the eyes that will be adorning me foreheads. Look how clever I am. I'm using a NYX slide-on lip pencil in nude suede shoes to outline the eyes and add crease, wrinkles, folds around the eyes for extra dimension. So beautiful, so foldy, so many folds. Look at those creases, just eye folds left and right. I then go in with some micellar water. Just wait a second, it's gonna come up. Wait a second, it's coming. Any second now. Okay. Get the fucking water. There it is. With a Q-tip, micellar water with a Q-tip. Get rid of that makeup, because it's like in the way. You know, and then I go in with a small little like contoured brush with the Kat Von D Locket Concealer in pure white. I then set it with Sugar Pill's white eyeshadow taco. Next, I'm gonna go in with that same lip pencil from earlier, and I'm gonna draw in the shape and placement of the iris. The iris came together using a combination of quite a few eyeshadows. Sugar Pills Text Me, Juvia Places Zulu Palette number 3 Pressed Pigment, Juvia Places Tri Palette shade Ashanti, Juvia Places Deduce shade Crepes, Marc Jacobs 750 Editorial, stupid name, editorial, shades Pleather, Python, layered over enviously. It created a nice like gold green shimmer. I defined some of the lines in the eyes using the same contour palette I used earlier. I used the deepest shades from that to give the folds some more dimension. I also went in with some eyeshadows and a little heavy-handed there. Made it a little too chestnut. I used the same eyeshadows on my actual eye, except, of course, the ones on the iris. The pink inner corner tear ducts of the eyes on my forehead were achieved using the Moira Sweet Paradise palette shades Over the Moon and Velvet, really nice coral shades. I set my face using the Huda Beauty Resting Boss Face, which smells like delicious. I've heard many people say that it does not smell good, and I'm sorry, but you need to get your nasal passages excavated and studied for having such poor and ugly scent-based opinions. Thank you, and have a lovely evening. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to get so egregious, but use such egregious language like that. I just really love the smell. It just smells so good. Oh, also, I'm placing some stones on my forehead in the eyebrow area in 4 and 5 millimeters using Prozaid on the back of a tiny paintbrush. want 3 hours of footage of me putting stones on my face? You got it. Look at me go. Just quality entertainment here. Watch me place them. Oh, God, I'm so good. I use the same lip liner to outline my lips, then I go in with Sugar Pill's Nurse and cover that with some Michael's glitter using ABH glitter adhesive, which smells so farting good, I want to move my whole existence into the bottle. It also works great. I consumed so many mozzarella sticks with these lips on and ate only like a minuscule handful of glitter off my lips in the process, so killer product in my opinion. Final step was adding some white reflex to the iris, Japanime style, using the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer in pure white. I then attached the headpiece to my giant meat brain sack using Pros-Aid and called it a day. That's it, kids. It's done. Look at me go. I'm so farting beautiful it hurts me and everyone around me. So I had to take this off pretty quickly because I'm a good person like that. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. It warms my cold fart. If you enjoyed this, then please subscribe, because my world dominance is inevitable and you may as well get on board now and save yourself the hassle. Okay, bye sweaties!